little shiny here. Hold up a second. Yeah, a little better. Not too much there. So as a break from all the doom and gloom and horror, I figured I'd finally get around to talking about Olive Tree, which is the 7th or 8th. Is the 8th track from this slow drip of Peter Gabriel material, which may or may not constitute the I.O. album. This is the best one, I think, so far. For me, anyway. I've listened to both mixes because the Dark Side mix came out, I think, just yesterday. And I actually like the Dark Side mix better, by the way, but we'll get to that. This track here, it reminds me of something, it's very 80s. It almost reminds me of something like Phil would do, which is kind of funny. With the, I think those are real horns in the chorus, but they almost sound like they're keyboard horns, but I don't think they are. I think they're real horns. If I had to guess, I don't think Peter would be using keyboard horns. I haven't seen any of the liner notes quite yet. Well, I'm sure you can find it online. Bandcamp, he's got a thing going over there where when a new song comes out for this, the I.O. project, I think it's like a $5 a month or something like that, or less than that. It's really cheap. Might even be like $1.99. He goes into every song, how it was written, how it was put together, and offers all these demo versions. I should have did that a while ago. I may still have to get that and just deep dive on all the stuff, because it's probably going to be his last one, you know, the last studio album, seeing as how it takes so long for him to make them. You know, I wouldn't be expecting anything after this. But yeah, this one and the last one, I think it was Road to Joy, which was one from last month, are really good. I like both of these. And the album is starting to kind of take shape in my mind. And as it is now, I think from what I've heard and what I've listened to from what's been released, I think I'm gonna like it more than Up. Up was really well done, has some great sounds on it, but ultimately, like, it's kind of a downer. You know what I mean? It's a real bummer. I know what it's supposed to be about, like the end of sort of meditations on death and mortality and stuff that Up was. It's kind of the same thing here, except there's a little bit more upbeat. There's a little more, I guess, hopeful kind of stuff in there, mixed in there as well. Whereas Up was kind of just, you know, downbeat. This, he's still dying, but at least he's feeling a bit better about it this time around. And yeah, this track is great. It's got the verses kind of sound like a early 80s kind of Peter Gabriel thing, like something that might be from Melt or even Security. Not I don't know, to me it does, like the sounds he uses during the verses. And then it kicks into that chorus, which sounds very like 80s, but not 80s Peter Gabriel-ish, almost 80s like Phil Collins-ish. But I love it. It's fucking great. It's really upbeat. It's a bit cheesy, but I like it. And the Dark Side mix is my favorite because it accentuates the melody of the chorus. They add like hand claps and stuff, which really brings out the horns and everything. It's like one of those. It just makes you feel good. It's one of those happy type songs. I haven't really checked out the lyrics yet, which usually they're the things that have jumped out at me first with all these I.O. songs, and they haven't been great. I mean, that's the thing I've had the most problem with, I think. But now I'm starting to see how it is. Now that we're 8 tracks into this, it's starting to shape up to be a thing. I think this is going to be real good. when it's done and you're able to hear it all together as a whole. There's still some stuff I'm not crazy about, like the Randy Newman-esque playing for time kind of stuff, and I'm not crazy about I.O., the song, mainly because of the lyrics, but I think altogether, as a whole, this is going to be good. We got 4 more tracks left that I know of. He originally is supposed to be 12, so that runs until December. He said he might keep going after that, but I kind of hope not. I hope they call it time, and just if he wants to do something else after this, like, I don't know, bonus tracks or whatever, but at some point there has to be like a piece, an album. And I think the way he's going to do it, this is just my guess, this is my guess, is that he's going to, because Pete Gabriel fans are people that want to buy product. They want to buy, what do you call it, material stuff, whatever, material product. What is that, hard copy? You know, they're people that like to own stuff. You know, I can see him selling a lot of vinyl with this. So, like, it's definitely going to come out like that. But I think how he's going to do it is probably make a double album. And it's going to be, one album will be the light mixes and one album will be the dark mixes. I think they're going to be released together. Although on vinyl and the length of the songs, it might be a double album anyway. I don't know. Maybe he'll release a light mixed version, a dark mixed version, but he'll release them both as the official I.O. This is just my guess. I don't think it's going to be a situation where he's going to pick through them, and you know, I think both are going to be released together as the official thing, whether it's as a double or quadruple vinyl, if that's what happens, or 2 separate light side and dark side albums. But it'll all be released at once as the thing. I don't think he's going to make us pick. And yeah, so that would be, if it goes how I'm thinking, that's 12 songs. And yeah, this is going to be better than Up. Just from the songs that they have. And I like Up, but Up is hard to get through. He's got some great sounds, and there's some great sections and parts of songs, but you know, there's some stuff on the what was that, Oboe? There's some songs on there that would have been good on Up, like Downside Up or Upside Down. That should have been on Up. He was doing a lot of stuff then for a lot of different projects. Then he had the Big Blue Ball thing around that too. Well, actually, I think that was recorded in the early 90s. It didn't come out until the early aughts though. But yeah, I liked Up, but the thing is, like, I would have liked it more if he had released an album between then and now. I kind of didn't know that was going to be it. He was talking about I.O. Right after he released Up. That's the problem with Pete Gabriel, man. He Babe Ruth it, you know, and he didn't hit the ball. I mean, here we are in, you know, 2023, and you know, it's still not out yet. But it will be this year. I don't know if it will be this year. Will he do it in December when the last track comes out? Will this be available? I don't think so. I think if anything, we're looking at now a 2024 release, right? Because maybe early 2024 when this is all put together. But yeah, I'm digging this. I really liked Road to Joy too. I thought was another good one. These kind of upbeat tunes. He's got like he's got 2 or 3 or 4 of these now on this album, which is something he didn't have on Up, and it made that listening experience a bit tough, you know. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm liking this song. I like the dark side mix, although admittedly the light and dark side mixes aren't all that different for this particular track. The chorus is where it really makes a difference to me. It seems to accentuate what's going on in that chorus more with the dark side mix. But yeah, 8 months in, and I'm finally getting like an idea of what's going on here. As the tracks were dripped out one at a time, you know, it's hard to have a good view of it, because it's like you don't know what you're looking at. You know what I mean? It's like you're getting a couch, but you're only getting, like, you know, the legs, and then next month you get the pillow, and then you get the back pillow, and then you're like, well, is this got to be good? Or this? But now I'm at a point where I can kind of see everything, and yeah, this is going to be a good one. I look forward to hearing it as one whole piece, you know. I'm just glad it's finally out. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be many more after this, if any more. I think stuff after this will probably be like live albums, and I'm sure he'll do some other stuff. You know, he has that Real World studio there, but as far as like a complete Peter Gabriel studio album, I think this is going to be the last one. I mean, just time dictates that, you know. And it's too bad they, you know, out of all the bands that kind of put something together, they're one of the only groups that really didn't. One of the big groups that didn't. I mean, in 2007, they had a meeting in 2007 with Hackett and Gabriel and Phil and Mike and help me. Almost said Jeff. Keyboard player. And their keyboard player, Jeff, Toady Bags. And they were gonna do like a Lamb kind of thing. But I don't know how that would have worked, because a lot of people don't really know that stuff. Yeah, I had a meeting in 2007 with an eye toward touring for that album. And it'd be something good for the fans to see, of course, but I just don't know what the commercial viability of that would be. Like, where do you book that? They certainly wouldn't be able to do the big stadiums that the Phil Genesis was doing. I don't know, but it's too bad they never did get together. Unless you count in the 1990s when they got together to do that documentary. All of them got together and they sat in a room and they talked and stuff, and then they got together again to do a similar thing. But the first time they got together, they re-recorded Carpet Crawlers as part of a larger project where they were kind of cleaning up some older live stuff for the Genesis archive set, where they released a Lamb performance. But to me, it's like, it's not, Peter Gabriel like redid all his vocals. And I know he was saying he had to redo the vocals because you couldn't hear him at some points because of the costumes and stuff, but it seems like he did the whole thing. And it's just weird to hear that stuff, and then, because you can tell old Pete. You know what old Pete and young Pete sound like. Pete, repeat, old Pete, Illuminati confirmed. You know, you can kind of tell. Well, not kind of, you can tell. So to me, it's weird. It's like, what is this that I'm listening to? I think the redone version of Carpet Crawlers, Trevor Horn produced it, and that thing sounds awesome. I thought he did a good job. If they had, I wouldn't have minded them, you know, doing a couple originals at that time. That would have been the time for them to do something if they were going to do it. You know, having Trevor Horn as producer. It's kind of weird they brought him in just to do that one thing. But yeah, I liked that new version of Carpet Crawlers. It's different. It's not, you know, it isn't the original. The original is the original, and it's hard to beat that. But it's an interesting take on it, and it's good having Phil and Pete trading vocals there in the tune. It has like a modern sort of sound to it, but not overly modern. It's not beating you in the head with it. I really do love that version of Carpet Crawlers. And that appeared on the greatest hits albums of that time. What was it? I forget, it was a Platinum Collection or something. They'd put a greatest hits out every time they'd do something, they'd put a new one out. They just did one for this last tour, the final tour they did, that last Domino greatest hits album. It's always the same songs. I mean, there's kind of nothing new on it. But yeah, I mean, even Led Zeppelin got together and did like a show, you know, at least a show, and they jammed together, and you know, Plant and Page got together, whatever you want to call that. 15 guys, incense, and a Moroccan rug. I was really disappointed by the whole Plant and Page thing. I watched a video series about that right now. There's a guy, JCM. He does these Led Zeppelin documentaries, and they're fucking fantastic, man. And right now he's covering the 90s. But yeah, what a disappointment, that Plant Page thing. You know, it's like, I understand personally you didn't want to go and do the whole thing, but it's like, it's very blue balled. It's like, well, we'll do this, but not that. You know, and he says, well, you know, we want to use some elements, but not all of them. You know, not the good elements, just the fucking weird shit. But anyway, not to get into that too much, but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it now. To having it and being able to listen to the whole thing and reevaluating it as a piece. But yeah, good job, Pete. This is good shit. We got 4 more to go. I think the next full moon is what, next week? So we should have a whole new track. Oh no, is it? Would it be a new track? I don't know. I think this is August, right? So Olive Tree was the one for, I don't know. I don't know the moon calendar. I'm the only occultist that has no idea what the moons are. Anyway. Figured I'd scratch that off the list. And give me something more uplifting to talk about. We'll be back to depressing shit tomorrow, though. That's all it is. That's all it is. But, you know, I have to catalog it. And whatever have you, talk about it. Color commentary. It's all gonna be all right. We've already won this thing. It's just a matter of waiting it out. Just a matter of running out the clock and not doing anything too rash. And as always, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.